Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Miriam Jacobs, and today I'm here with Alisha Dockrat from TMS to talk about her experience on the matric COVID-19 year. So, Alisha, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm very happy that matric's over now. Such a big relief.
I can imagine. It was a stressful year, as you know,
Yeah.
I can assume. So, to start off, I wanted to ask you, are you happy with your results? Are you happy with the outcome?
I'm quite happy with my results. I got 7 A's, so I'm quite relieved. It's enough to get me in for what I wanted to, and it's a really great mark. I got 179% for one of my other subjects, which is quite a disappointment because, to just miss that A.
Just miss
But
it.
I'm quite happy overall.
And also, you can always go for remarking.
Yeah,
and they'll
plan
definitely
to
push
do
it
that.
up.
I hope so.
Okay, and I wanted to ask you, with this whole experience as a matriculant that went through COVID-19 and the whole lockdown, what challenge with this COVID was something that was just too major and to overcome?
I'm not sure if I'd say major to overcome, but what was really difficult was trying to find structure in the online, because a lot of the time the teachers, you don't have the same supervision that you have at school, so you need to manage your own time. You need to make sure you're waking up for classes and attending it properly, and that was a bit difficult. And then also learning online itself, because we used to being taught chalkboards and everything, so certain things, voice notes, Zoom classes, not all of them worked that well.
I can imagine. I remember like a few of my own lessons, I just sleep through the first class because it just was too much. And then once you realize that it's like time to get with the program, it's really tough to carry on like how you used to.
It really is.
What would be something that you feel like you managed best during the time that you were during your online lessons?
I think that would have to be my own sense of self-discipline. I knew which classes were very important that I would not allow myself to miss under any circumstances, like maths. And then also when it came to like the later stages and it was exams, I'd make sure I'd wake up early every morning and study and have a set schedule which I followed, to make sure I didn't just get lazy and go with the flow.
I totally understand, because it's tough to follow a schedule, and I mean
really
self-discipline is a key in matric, and that's something that I think everybody should definitely take from like you and your entire plan, if I can say so. Do you feel like COVID affected your studies in any way, in the sense like could you have gotten better marks, or do you feel like it was just you and your hard work?
That's a difficult question, because I'm not sure what my marks would have been like without COVID. But I think in a way COVID helped me because it gave me slightly more time to focus and study by myself, instead of going to classes. Because there's certain subjects I think where you benefited more by your self-study from study
Yeah.
guides rather than sitting in the actual class and listening to the teachers. So I think in that way it was helpful because I could dedicate my own time to those studies. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I understand what you mean. Because certain subjects, not to say that they're a waste of time, but they occupy time unnecessarily.
Yes.
Okay, and then I wanted to ask, how are you planning to celebrate this milestone in your life?
Celebration. At this point, I'm just mostly thinking about all the things that I need to get done before university starts. I don't really have any big celebrations planned yet.
Hopefully your parents will watch and tell you and give you a big surprise. Also, I wanted to ask, if you don't mind, what are your plans for the future and what are you keen on doing?
I'm planning to study chemical engineering at Tux, hopefully.
Oh, inshallah, Ameen. Hopefully
Ameen.
it'll all go well.
I really hope so.
And what set you on chemical engineering?
I went to NEXA a few months during grade 11, and I think the nuclear industry was just really interesting for me, especially, we all know the problems with load shedding and all of that. So the idea of nuclear power, it's very appealing. So I decided that's what I wanted to go into. I was originally going to do a course that specialized in nuclear engineering, but they removed it last year.
Oh no!
And it was a train smash because then I had no idea what I wanted to do. But fortunately, with doing chemical engineering, I can specialize in that direction.
That's nice. That's nice. Okay. So like you have your goal and your plan and your steps to get there. That's really nice. Alhamdulillah. And I want to ask you, for this year's matrics that are going to be facing a COVID matric, what advice would you give them?
I think the biggest piece of advice is self-discipline, of course, because if you don't have the skills to tell yourself that you need to work when you have to work, it's going to be very difficult, especially since you don't have that constant teacher supervision, and also to work consistently. You can't leave it for the end, leave it for trials, leave it for finals, because it's going to be so much work and you're going to get so overwhelmed. And if you study really hard during the year, you'll find by the time finals come, you're just doing revision, you're already very confident with your work, it's just past papers, and it really relieves a lot of stress.
I get you 100%. And what would your ideal schedule be for one of the matrics that you would give advice to?
Okay, I'm sort of a morning person. I don't know if some people like to study at night. I used to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, shower, eat. By 9 I want to sit and study properly. I used the Pomodoro method to study, so 25 minutes of studying, 5 minutes break, 25 minutes studying, 5 minutes break, and then every hour I took longer breaks, like 15-20 minutes.
Okay.
And then break for lunch, break for supper. And then I studied not very late into the night. By 9 o'clock, all my books must be closed, and I must chill out for a bit before I go to sleep.
That's cool, because like you already have an early start, don't have a late night, and then you mess up your routine. That's really admirable. Personally, I wouldn't have been able to manage your schedule. I'm a person that goes rather studies at night. Like you said, different people,
Yeah.
different opinions. So, like Alisha said, consistency is key, and if you motivate yourself every day, you'll get what you want to get out of your exams, inshallah. And to end off, do you feel like you have accomplished everything that you wanted to accomplish during 2020?
I think so, yes. I just knew that I need to work hard enough to get marks that I'm proud of, and that's going to get me into university, and I did. So I'm very, very happy with that.
I'm very excited for you, because I mean, like after all that hard work, you got your 7 A's, alhamdulillah, and that's a big milestone, especially because it was practically all self-study. And yes, the school was there, but I mean, you had to do everything on your own and on your own time as well. So that's really cool. And I think that's all for today. Jazakallah.